Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fan fiction. The art in my thumbnail is by Levi on Instagram. Their artwork is absolutely amazing, and their link will be in the description box below, so go show them some love. So, Pride Month is almost over, so this is a special story, as all of the ad revenue from it will be donated to the Trevor Project, a wonderful non-profit organization that helps with suicide prevention among LGBTQ youth. So I know that money is tight everywhere and gas prices are insane. So just by watching ads, you are helping me raise money. If you are able to donate and would like to, I would greatly appreciate it, but definitely not necessary. Without further ado, please enjoy Little Miss Perfect. Homework? Check. Bag? Check. Uniform? Check. Perfect, as always. Looking in the mirror, I attempted to psych myself up for the day with my morning mantra. Success doesn't come to you, you go to it. Success was a straight path. I don't cut corners. Punctual and perfect. I sighed to myself, leaning closer to the mirror, inspecting my face. Little Miss Perfect. That's me. I repeated my mantra quietly to myself as I smoothed my hair, which hung in a straight bob framing my rounded face. Today would be the day I finally bested my mother in a match. I made my way to our family car, Tatsu, which waited with a cherry red door opened, all but beckoning to me, my chariot to school. I stared out the window at the blurry, fast-moving trees and buildings. My amber eyes glowed as sunlight flickered in. I let my mind wander idly when I saw her waltz into the school, surrounded by our other classmates, laughing and chatting. My heart gave a flutter, which I willfully ignored. I grit my teeth as the door swung open, straightening my skirt as I trudged the stairs, hoping to avoid the eyes of my classmates. The locker room bustled with other girls talking about their weekend plans, but what about me? I just had more hours of grueling fencing practice with Mother. The road to perfection was a tough one, but worth it. Straight hair, straight A's. A pretty girl walked by my locker. I bit my lip as I watched her effortlessly pass, which was unusual for her. Then she shot me a smile. Straight girl? Hi, Kagami, she said as she shuffled a mountain of books into her arms. My heart gave a squeeze. Marinette. Her presence felt calming and made me happy. Yeah, truly happy. Something I so often forgot to be. But with Marinette, I was. How are you? Well, I stammered. That was so unlike me. I'm straightforward, quick. But looking into her eyes, that twinkle, and was that a smirk? Her smirk was so enticing. Her melodic giggle warmed my otherwise cold heart. It's not a hard question, Kagami. She shut the locker, clutching her books with one arm, gripping my clammy hand with her outstretched hand. Come on, we're going to be late. Late? Oh, right. With my free hand, I felt my quickening pulse. No, no, no! I can't risk falling off my throne. But as I walked a few paces behind her, Marinette's hair draped over her shoulders, the way she looked back at me. No! My insides protested with every fiber of my being. Love was something I didn't even know. So, what was this feeling? Why are you looking at me like that? Marinette asked curiously, showing off that dazzling smile. I shook my head, feeling a bit lightheaded from the force. Deny the truth, that's easier, and pretend there's nothing there. I was just wondering if you'd like to hang out later, after school? I winced. How could I just ask her to... Is that all? I'd love to. We need more girl time anyway. A lump formed in my throat as I meekly nodded, watching Marinette as she whipped around in her seat at our professor calling her name during roll. The anxiety of hanging out with my friend built inside me, hours speeding by like seconds until... Time to go to Marinette's. I took a seat on Marinette's bedroom floor, legs folded neatly underneath me, hands placed in my lap like lily pads floating on a pond, just as I would sit on the tatami mat flooring of my own home. Would you like to have a seat? Marinette said as she gestured to her computer desk chair. No, thank you, I replied simply. I'm quite comfortable here on the floor. Marinette's eyes drifted from me, back to her chair, then lingered on me as she seemed to ponder my decision. Okay then. She jumped up, taking a spot on the flower-shaped rug close to me. My nails dug deeply into the rug as I tried with all my might not to shrug away, and I didn't by some miracle. But she was too close. Close enough that I could smell the scents of the bakery lingering on her clothes. Freshly baked cookies, mixed with a hint of vanilla. Mother would never allow me to eat sweets, but oh, how I craved them at this very moment. A hand popped through the trap door with a tray of those chocolate chip cookies I might have been smelling, handing them off to Marinette. A welcome distraction from my own uncomfortability. The hand followed by another holding a platter with a teapot and 2 teacups. Fancy china, unlike what I used for my own tea at home. These are delicious, I said through a mouthful of chocolatey goodness, the most melt-in-your-mouth creation I had ever tasted. But at the same time, not a gooey mess. Thank you. They're my own secret recipe, she whispered. I taught Papa how to make them. Her eyes lit up as she talked about her passion for baking. And for a brief moment, I wondered what would happen if I just leaned in and kissed her. But that would be absurd behavior for Little Miss Perfect. She took a sip and she smiled, her cherry blossom pink lips glistening from the leftover gyokuro. How could a human being possibly be so perfect? Marinette. Kind and selfless Marinette. My first true friend and possibly my first... love? Love. Did I love Marinette? Something about her drew me in. No, it's totally platonic. Or not. Maybe I was just confused. Marinette reached for the last cookie, tearing it in half. We cheersed with our halved pastries, Marinette telling a joke. What's it called when all the cat treats are gone? I shrugged, still munching on my cookie. A catastrophe! I nearly choked. How delightfully stupid. I probably would have laughed if I hadn't been coughing and almost gagging. Oh, sorry, Kagami. Are you okay? Marinette said, beating my back a few times until the cough subsided. I breathed rapidly, pulling as much air as possible into my lungs. I think I'm okay. I breathed deeply, clearing my throat. You're just too funny. I smiled, and her posture relaxed, seeing that I was, for all intents and purposes, fine. You like that? I've got a million other cat jokes. She giggled. I definitely believed her, being raised by Tom Dupin, basically the king of dad jokes. Oh, Kagami, you've got something in your hair. Huh? I brushed my fringe, heat rising to my face. How embarrassing. Here, I'll get it. No worries. Marinette inched closer to me, one hand on my neck, the other reaching, picking pieces of what I assumed could only be crumbs out of my hair. Next thing I knew, I lost control. I finally kissed her. Oh no. Oh no! She pulled back to look at me, hair crumbs still in hand, her face as pink as my own. unable to utter a word. Rewind and freeze! Induce amnesia! Did I really just do that? This was a dream. A bad dream that I would wake up from. But when I closed my eyes and opened them, she looked at me with a wide stare. Marinette, I spoke frantically. I'm so sorry. You leaned in, and I guess I thought that you might be. I felt the weight of expectations my mother placed on me, and the ones I placed on myself, crashing around me. I tried to deny these feelings I had, and now I've ruined everything. Was it actually worth it, being Little Miss Perfect? Kagami, she whispered, leaning back into me, mere millimeters from my lips that trembled a bit. That was all she said, my name, Kagami, before taking my face in her hands, placing a kiss on my lips, warm and delicate like a beautiful porcelain doll. I've wanted to do that for a while now, actually. Marinette's face turned more pink than her bedroom walls. I love you, like you don't even know. I do now, I said, pulling her close. I hugged her for a while. I held myself to unattainable standards, but right here in this room, I felt like an actual person with human emotions, and right now, all of me loved Marinette. It's never worth it when you're Little Miss Perfect. Luckily with Marinette, I didn't have to be. I just had to be me. And that's more than enough. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, tell your friends about this video, share it anywhere you can. Hopefully we can get even more watchers on it, and just raise more money for the Trevor Project. So, as always, stay miraculous!